Kevin here, aka Brick Ninja from RebelLUG, and today we're going to take a look at this Rise of Skywalker set that LEGO kindly sent me a copy of to review. This is set number 75272, the Sith TIE Fighter. This one has 470 pieces in it, and in the United States it retails for $80. And I'm definitely interested to get this one built up and see what it's like. It looks pretty unique. It looks like it's got a lot of good parts. But let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, we got this guy all built up and ready to go. And our RebelLUG member quote is from Nick, and he says, "I would rate it higher if it had a better price point. What a great design." And for the most part, I agree with him. There's a couple design elements that I'm not hugely thrilled with, but mostly it's the price point that I have an issue with. And before I get on, I am going to get rid of this guy because my table's just not big enough. So anyways, we have the TIE Fighter, and we have a couple of decent figures. This is a pretty interesting TIE Fighter design. I overall like it. It's just kind of different and really unique. We'll go ahead and pop this cockpit open and pull out the pilot. And then we shall grab the other figures we got on the stand here, and we shall take a look at those guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the pilot. This is nothing new. We've had First Order TIE pilots before. I do really like the overall design. They have that hose coming from the mask attaching to the chest there, and some good printing all around. But nothing new, but still a really solid figure and something that you'd expect to get in a TIE Fighter set. I honestly wasn't certain if they were going to have a new style pilot just for the Sith TIE Fighter, you know, maybe something red, but turns out not to be the case. So the second figure we're going to take a look at is Finn, and this is not a unique figure. This was also in the Millennium Falcon from the first wave of Rise of Skywalker sets. But he has pretty good torso printing and leg printing all around. The hair is the same from the Solo Falcon for Lando, but overall pretty solid figure, but nothing new, nothing unexpected. And our final figure to take a look at is this Knight of Ren, and I believe he is the highlight for this set as far as figure selection. I really like the overall aesthetic designs that they're doing for the Knights of Ren, and this one's pretty good. I like that hood piece that they have done now in black, previously available in tan in a couple of sets. And he has an Uruk-hai scimitar, which is the second time that we've gotten that piece in a Star Wars set. The other time being in copper on Anakin's pod racer. But overall, pretty good figure. I'm really liking a lot of these black and pearl dark gray figure parts, so pretty excited about that one there. Alrighty, but let's take a look at this TIE Fighter again. This is a pretty solid design. It's really hefty. Like, when I first picked it up, I was surprised at how heavy it was. I think that's mostly because the wings are at least 3 plates thick in most spots, and then up to like 2.5 bricks thick on this section here, sometimes all the way up to 3 bricks. And it is a lot of plates, so definitely a little bit denser than normal builds. The main issue I have with this here is the cockpit area. It's just super flat with the exception of that dome. You pull that windshield down, and this whole thing is just all the way flat with the exception of that wedge thing sticking out, but you don't have that rounded bubble feel that mostly you get in the main pod section, and you just get a little bit with that cockpit there. And another issue with the cockpit is trying to close it sometimes. It will catch on the side slope here, and it will just get stuck. So you just kind of got to shove it around, and finally you'll get it. So that could be a little bit smoother as far as the mechanism there. And then really the only other feature we have is we've got these flick fire missiles. You just kind of push right in there. Boom. Here's a little side angle shot. You get a little trigger mechanism right there, and you push it in, and those will shoot right on out. I like it when those are very well integrated, and they are in this set. It is a very sturdy build. Like, this guy isn't going anywhere. You don't have any issues with the wings. You can really play with this thing. Like, you could swoop this thing around for your heart's content. Ever since they updated the wing connection, it's been a vast improvement. This back section hinges, and I think that's mostly just so that this cockpit part can pull back, but it's kind of annoying because you got to push that back up. It will go on its own when you're closing it, but it won't come back, so that's always just kind of like in the way. Another issue I have with this set is the stand. It's really rickety. It's kind of hard. It's not hard to attach, it just isn't very sturdy. This set does have a lot of good parts for mock building. Unfortunately, it's just not super cost effective to get them. My favorite part's going to be these 1x3 wedges in red and black. They go from 2 studs to no studs, where previous wedge plates went from 2 studs to 1 stud. So different angle there. You get quite a few of these, both in red and black, both sides, so those are really good. The other part is basically the match for those, and that's going to be the 4x6 wedge plates. It's the same angle, so you put the red one right on the top there. It's the same angle between the 2x3s and the 4x6s. And these are pretty good parts. I really like being able to get a lot of these, and they weren't super readily available before. And these 2x3 ones are brand new. So that's definitely got some good parts there. And it's going to kind of make it a little hard for me to know if I want to keep this set all built together or just pull it apart for the pieces. Another part that's in here that's really good is there's a bunch of the 1x1 brackets. We can pull this here off, and there's a lot of these both going up and down. Those are nice, and there's quite a few of those in there. Also, I'm not going to be able to pull it out because it's going to be hard to get to. Hopefully you can still see it. There is 1x4 trans clear tile, so you can get the light to reflect off of it. And there's 4 of those guys. They've done those before in a Lone Ranger set, but 1x4 trans clear tiles are not super common. So this set comes with 4 of those, and those are good parts as well. In conclusion, I think it's a pretty good set. It's just too expensive, and that's basically what RebelLUG members said. It was given a 6.2 out of 10, and most of the people who rated it lower cited not liking the price point. For me, this feels like a $50 set. It looks like a $50 set. I think TIE Fighters should pretty much be $50. And once I got it built up, my opinion kind of changed. It feels more like a $60 set just because of how heavy it is. It's pretty hefty. But it still isn't $80. So I can definitely recommend the set. I just can't recommend it at retail price. Hopefully you can find it on sale. 20% off, I'd say it's kind of a little iffy, but if you're wanting to get the set and you can find it for 25 or 30% off, I think you'll be happy with it. If you're wanting to get the set and you pay 80 for it, I think you might be disappointed. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and we shall see you on the next one. Thank you.